Hey book lovers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenna and today I will be doing the Dreams and Books tag. This tag was created by Barbara over at Chapter Barbara and I was tagged by Rowan at Row Books, and I will link both of those channels down below if you're interested in checking them out. So this tag is all about books and dreams, so matching up different books with different types of dreams you may have had. So let's get started with this tag. The first question, I guess not really questions, but the first question is the WTF dream, a book in which very weird things take place and that make no sense. And I'm going with The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I think this is a very much beloved book, especially on BookTube, at least the circle of people that I follow on BookTube. And for the most part, I would say that I did enjoy this book, but there were so many scenes in this book that I just thought were very strange and not like my kind of strange. And I ultimately left the book with the impression of, what did I just read? And it was a beautifully written book, but ultimately I just don't think I got what Neil Gaiman was trying to portray. So I'm gonna go with that. The Ocean at the End of the Lane for my book, or question one. Question two is The Daydream, a book you read while you were supposed to be productive. And I am going to have to go with Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I first read this book in college, my freshman year, and I read it. It consumed me. I just fell headfirst into this story, and I should have been doing a lot of schoolwork, but instead I read this wonderful story and I just fell in love with the character. So if you have not read this classic, please do. It's my absolute favorite classic that I've read. Jane Eyre is fantastic. Question number three, The Falling Dream, a book with a plot twist that caught you off guard or that was just generally unpredictable. And I'm going with Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This is the third and final book in the Divergent trilogy. And I think you all know what I'm talking about if you've read this book. There are things that happen towards the latter half that I didn't necessarily agree with, and I just felt the series kind of went downhill, and some choices were made that I didn't think should have been made, and I just did not agree with that plot twist and thought it could have ended better. That's all I'm gonna say. Question number four, The Nightmare, a book that scared you or a book in which the characters are in horrible situations. And I'm going to go with Shadow House, The Gathering by Dan Pawlowski. This is the first in a middle grade horror series about a group of kids that are invited to this mysterious house, and they think they're invited for certain reasons, but it turns out that those reasons and the people that invited them didn't really exist, and they're all trapped in this haunted house. And this is a middle grade horror story. Something that I don't typically pick up, but it just looked really appealing to me. And Richard over at Richard's Book Nook, he mentioned this book and he absolutely fell in love with it. So I figured I would just pick it up. And I ordered it for the library and I brought it home and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, but I was thoroughly creeped out. I was very creeped out. I was reading it at night and I actually had to put it down and come back and read it the next day because it was really, really creepy. I mean, little children in a haunted house and I just can't. So number five, The Too Good Dream, a book you didn't want to finish because it was that good. And I'm going with a book that I have yet to talk about on my channel, and I haven't read in years. I first read this book when I think I was a sophomore in high school. It's been a little while. And that is Vlad, The Last Confession by C.C. Humphreys. So this is a historical fiction novel. It's an account of the real life of Vlad the Impaler, or Vlad Dracula. This is historical fiction. However, it gets to the heart of who Vlad the Impaler was rather than Dracula the vampire was. So, and I just remember absolutely loving this book and I could not put it down. It just utterly consumed me when I was reading it. And I would very much like to reread it because it's been a really long time and I just remember absolutely loving it. So I want to see if I still love it because it's been a while. And the next question is question six, The Forbidden Dream, a book that you feel guilty about having enjoyed. And I don't really feel guilty about having enjoyed this series, but it is a lot of other people's guilty pleasure, so I figured I'd just mention it, and that is the Selection series as a whole. The only book that I have not read is The Crown in this series, but I really enjoyed it. The One is definitely my favorite, but overall I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was you know, it was fun. Was it an absolute masterpiece? I don't think so. But it was like The Bachelor mixed with The Hunger Games, and I love both of those. So I don't know, it was fun. The next question is question 7, and it is the Not Sure If I'm Actually Asleep or Awake dream, a book that you just couldn't get into. And I am going with Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Danler. I ended up DNFing this book because I just couldn't get into it. I think I appreciated it for what it was, and I still am interested in knowing what happens throughout the story, but it just didn't grab me. And I've mentioned this before, but I don't know. Just let me know if you think I should pick it up again, because I just don't know if I will. And the last question is a book that made you dream. And I am going with Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. Can't tell you how many dreams I've had that take place in her Vampire Chronicles universe. I fell in love with the story after, I think I saw the 90s movie, which was, it was all right. I thought it was interesting. Wanted to read the book soon after I saw that. This was years ago. And I loved it so much. And Lestat is such an interesting character. And it's been years since I've read any of the books in the series, so I would really like to pick it back up again. And I think, I want to say Interview with the Vampire, Anne Rice reacquired the rights to that story. So I think they're going to be making another film or a TV series. I'm really not sure. You'd have to look it up if you're interested, because I'm not sure. But Interview with the Vampire has definitely made me dream. So those are the questions to the Dreams and Books tag. I hope you enjoyed it. So give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you would like to see more content from me, please hit subscribe. And I will be tagging a few people down in the description box below, so watch out for that. And I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye!